In a desperate attempt to save her child, a mother threw her toddler from a burning building earlier this week. Luckily, the baby was caught by passersby standing below and was later reunited with the mother, Naledi Manyoni. She was filmed throwing her daughter, Melokuhle, from a burning building amid ongoing riots in Durban. Footage showed dozens of people rushing to the scene to help the mother in distress, assuring her to throw the 2-year-old child into their arms. As you can see the visuals there. After throwing her daughter, the woman was seen holding her head in shock as Good Samaritans caught the child. Mehloli Moyo is a Durban resident who helped rescue those trapped in the building and joins us now. A very good evening to you, Mr. Moyo. Thank you so much for speaking to us. So tell us a little bit more about what we're seeing there. We're going to play the video in the background for our viewers. Tell us what was happening, the scenes that we're looking at.
Hi, Tepiso. Thank you for having me tonight. Like you said, Tepiso, it was very, very scary in my words. It was something that you wouldn't want to replay again because as you see the lives of the children, the desperate mothers, pregnant women, and the people with underlying health conditions were at risk. So the mother desperately had to do what she had to do, and we just promised her that we're going to catch your baby if you are going to throw her. And indeed, we caught her safely, and she was reunited with her mother.
So we're also showing visuals of other children who were rescued, as you mentioned, that there were several other people who were vulnerable. How did the fire start? At what point did you get there, Mr. Moyo?
So to my understanding, when the shop that was on the first floor was looted, it was set alight on Monday. Fortunately, the fire was kept underneath until it overburned on a Tuesday afternoon, late morning to afternoon. That's where people were affected that were residents on the second floor. So people were trying frantic efforts to get out the building. Unfortunately, to some who were unlucky at that time, the exit point was inaccessible at that time. So they had to make shift of an exit point, which is at the back of the building, like the visuals as you're watching there.
So take us through a blow-by-blow of where were you, what happened while you were in there. I mean, I'd imagine that it was all terrifying, as you say, something that you would not like to replay again in your life.
Yes, so I heard the noise when I was in my room. I actually live across the street to the building that was burning. So when I had to cross over, I had seen a lot of people standing by, and immediately I saw that lady throwing her baby. And I mean, there's a lady that also jumped from at the moment, we had a fire rescue squad that arrived, and we had to make use of the ladders that they brought, and I was fortunate to be the one who climbed on top and actually had to calm the people who were coming from the building to tell them, no, everything is going to be fine. We are going to evacuate you in this way. And yeah, we did manage to evacuate all the people, and fortunately enough, we actually prevented many people from getting injured or maybe even dead. You never know.
Mr. Mehloli, I mean, these scenes that we've experienced as a nation have been quite extraordinary. Talk to me about the conversations that were being had there on the streets, the realization that so many lives were put in danger, the so-called unintended consequences of this looting. What were people saying? Was there a sense of shock that it would descend to this?
Yes, so, many people were regretting the incident because, at the end of the day, it was the children and the future that was in danger. Our children are the most prized possession that we might have now, and we actually put them in that mess. So a lot of people were regretting to say, we actually did what we did as elders, and it is caught up with our children now. So a lot of people were regretting to be honest.
And what are people now saying in your neighborhood? Is there a stronger sense of community, that such acts will be prohibited, because people have now seen that it's beyond just stealing. People saying that they are trying to create some form of livelihood or survival methods. What are they saying now about the importance of unity within the community?
Thanks, Sepiso. Yeah, it dawned to everyone faces that, we had to face reality when many people were now queuing to get the food. And understanding the supply chain, it would take a very, very long time to get food in the shops. And many of former sector was badly affected in, someone waking up not to go and sell her product, and not to be able to go to a salon to work. So they have that sense of responsibility. I overheard people saying that, we wish we could have done like what other residents are doing. Couldn't have allowed this to happen in our community. So, but unfortunately, it happened, and I hear people taking responsibility of not actually stepping up to do what they were supposed to do to protect their community.
Thank you so much for speaking to us. Mehloli Moyo is one of the community members who were there, part of the rescue operation of that burning building in Durban, where picture has gone viral, that film of the child being thrown from a burning building by a distraught, confused mother who was trying to save her child. Many others, as Mr. Moyo was saying, including pregnant women, children that were rescued from there.